All right, cool. So we are doing homework for week 8 over the limit definition of a derivative. I hope it went well for you guys. I'm going to go quickly on the ones that I think are probably supposed to go quickly. And I'll slow down if I think it's a trickier one, but feel free to skip ahead or rewatch if you feel good about the unit. Okay. Where, oh where is my homework? Alright, there we go. Alright, number 1 is just f of x is 2x, okay? So, if f of x is 2x, then I'm going to start with the limit as h approaches 0 of 2 times x plus h minus 2x all over h. That should be how you start. Then, of course, if you distribute. I was really nice to you on this one. The limit as h approaches 0. That 2x and that 2x are going to cancel, and it's just going to be 2h over h. Those are going to cancel, and your answer is 2. That was really nice. Okay. Number 2, f of x is equal to x squared minus 5. So the limit as h approaches 0. Okay, so if it's f of x plus h, I need to put in an x plus h there and recopy the rest, minus all of this. Notice my use of parentheses right here, guys, because if you don't use parentheses, then you may forget to distribute this negative right here. So just be careful. Notice that I'm also recopying limit as h approaches 0 over and over and over. That's just in case you have a picky teacher. Okay, that's kind of important. Okay, so I'm going to FOIL that out. So that's x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus 5. Now let me distribute that negative. Minus x squared plus 5 all over h. Okay, cool. So now some stuff should cancel. I've got a x squared canceling with a negative x squared, a negative 5 canceling with a positive 5, and it looks like here's what's left. 2xh plus x squared all over h. Okay, cool. I see h's everywhere, so I'm going to reduce every h by 1. And so the answer is just 2x plus h. I plug in x approaching, not x, h approaching 0. And my answer is 2x. So I keep saying x a lot when I mean h, and that is just a horrible, horrible habit of me trying to talk while I'm writing, so I may have to shut up on this next one just so I don't keep interchanging those two variables. Okay, the limit as h approaches 0. Okay, so up here I need f of x plus h. So x plus h is going in the spot of that, and hopefully yours looks something like that. Then you recopy what you saw before. So this is your first step. So some of you might just be messing up the plugging in stuff. Now if you got this far and you got it right and you got stuck, this is like a radical one, so we need that conjugate action. So put a plus sign between the two, and you're going to do this over itself. Okay, so now what? Now, I FOIL out the top, and whenever you do FOIL or multiplication across the top, these two multiplied times each other, it's just going to cancel the radical. So this is the first term. The second term is a big mess, but then it's going to cancel out with the middle terms right here. Okay, so because if you do this times this and this times this, one's a positive, one's a negative, they're going to cancel. So then you just have to worry about the last terms. So minus this times itself, once again, the radical's just going to cancel all over the bottom. And on the bottom I have an h here, and then I have all of this over here. So don't forget, your denominator's still a part of this problem. And now what do? Now we simplify. X minus x, well that's gone. H is still there. 2 minus 2, that's gone. So we're just going to have an h over all of this. And I think some of you, if you did this right, you already know where I'm going. Those cancel. And so we're just doing the limit as h goes to 0 for 1 over, let me go ahead and plug in that 0 for h, x plus 0 plus 2 plus blah, blah, blah. Okay, now I have two of these that are the same exact thing. which means I can write it like that. I can just combine like terms, and that would be my final answer. Coolio, number 4, the last one, gonna be some kind of fraction. This is really similar to the fraction that I've already done for you though, so it shouldn't have been too terrible if you followed that guide. So 4 over, so I'm just gonna kind of do this one since it matches the other one so well. Okay, common denominator will look like that, which means this will be 4x minus 4 times x plus h all over h. Alright, next line. Ooh, that is the word limit, I swear. Okay, 4x minus 4x minus 4h all over x times x plus h. And instead of putting all of that over h, you know, I've already learned in my old wise age, when there's a 3-part fraction, these two are always going to get grouped together. They just are. So if you just want to suck that one up underneath with the other, then that's fine. Just think of it as a 2-part denominator that gets put together. If you want to show yourself the over 1 and then the multiply and reciprocal junk, go ahead and do that. But I'm just going to shortcut it. And that's because these cancel, and I'm left with a negative 4h. But I can cancel these h's now. So I've got negative 4 over x times x plus h. I'm doing h approaching 0, so this is really negative 4 over x squared. And that would be my answer for this one. Okay, cool. So like I said, this is an important skill, and you got to be able to do all this algebra. And next week we learn the awesomeness that is a derivative and what it's used for and why it belongs in calculus.